I get messages about like what happened to the guy who left a note on your car. Guys, this is what happened. This is the tea that happened. So anyway, that's basically my love life. I hope this was a hydrating cup of tea. Oh my actual, okay, let me get comfortable. I am not like a tea, gossip, story time type of channel, type of gal, but this is my little exception. This story time just, I actually just can't. This is my love life. So I don't want to be, is this too zoomed out? Let me come a little bit closer. I don't want to be like a problematic person with like tea or like gossip. So if this is problematic, I'm just going to delete this. I'm not here to be problematic, but this story time, it's just a little bit juicy. So yeah, it's kind of just like, it's tea. I'm not a TikTok gal, but I'm pretty sure as a lot of our little TikTok gals would say, this is tea, sis. This is not just tea, this is a fat cuppa. This is a cuppa, a fat cup of tea. So prepare yourselves for the juicy story time that happened to me, and it's just Okay, so we're just gonna take it straight back to the start and just begin from the very beginning of this story. So if you guys have followed my Instagram or vlogs, you might remember about a year ago somebody left a note on my car. So this is literally how it started. So it was uni holidays last year in the middle of winter, so it was like June, around June, and it all started with this random post-it note that was stuck on the little mirror that sticks out the side of the car. There was like a little post-it note stuck there. Let me just tell you, I just did nothing about that. It was stuck there for ages. I remember seeing it and thinking, there's a piece of rubbish folded up and like stuck on my mirror. Great, I did nothing about it. I left it there. Every time I looked in that mirror, which was every time I drove, so every day, I saw it and proceeded to do nothing about it. I still have that post-it note. So it was there for like a while, and then one day my dad borrowed my car, and after he borrowed it, he said, oh, someone left you a note. And I was like, oh yeah, that's been there for ages. I've done nothing about that. I just ignored it. And he was like, it's a note for you. Someone like left you a note. So I read it and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was a bit shooketh. Okay, so I can't believe I just ignored that. I probably should have done something about that earlier. I will read you guys the note because I still have it. Okay, this is the little post-it note that was left on my car. It says, it's all folded up. Hi, I drove past the other day and you got into this car. In brackets, tall, stunning brunette. Regret not turning back to talk to you, trying not to be creepy and respect your privacy, so no phone number yet. Here is my Snapchat account. Not gonna say what the Snapchat is. If you're curious at all, smiley face. Okay, so that was cool. When I saw this, I was like, I was chuffed, but I was also like, I don't know, something intrigued me about it. Like, let me just also preface, in the last 3 years since the only boyfriend I've had, which was in year 12, I have not given any guy the time of day. I have not dated. Anytime a guy would like message me or like slide into the DMs, I just didn't respond. I just haven't given anyone the time of day. I haven't wanted to, and like, I just find it so cringy when people, like, a lot of the things people used to slide into DMs, or just like when people text you or message you, and I guess that's just what life is like in like 2020, 2021 these days. But I just I like the real life scenarios, real life situations, the old school, like embarrassing turning up on your doorstep type of vibe. Anyway, so this, to me, when I saw this, I posted it on my Instagram story, partly because I was like hoping that I could find him through Instagram, because all he gave me was a Snapchat. I friggin' hate Snapchat. But anyway, I added the Snapchat because I was curious, but I was also like, maybe 2020 is the year I'm gonna get a boyfriend. Remember, this happens like mid last year. When I say gonna get a boyfriend, that sounds tragic. Gonna, you know, find someone that I actually genuinely want to get to know. That sounds a bit more mature. So it was the first time that a guy had like messaged me where I was actually like gonna give it the time of day. Did give it the time of day, I should say. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was so old school, so different, so not sliding into the DMs. And I always think, like, you know, in the future when people are like, how did you guys meet? So many people are going to say like, oh, Tinder, or like he messaged me on Facebook, or he messaged me on Instagram, Snapchat. How cool would it be to say, oh, he left a note on my car? Anyway, so that's how it first began. This note was left on my car. So I added him on Snapchat. He took a while to add me back, and then we started to talk a little bit, like just here and there. I'm a pretty busy person, so I don't always go on Snapchat, so I'd leave him on delivered for like a day or two, but so would he. He would leave me on delivered for like a day or two or more. So we were both kind of similar and like not always on our phones, which I'm fine with. I'm someone who wants to get to know someone in person, not by texting. I just ain't here for that life. So for starters, first person I'd ever given a chance since my ex, so which was in year 12, and it's gonna sound so tragic, but I was in love with that person, and I'm not someone who, like, I love with all of my heart. I wear my heart on my sleeve. So yeah, I'm not someone who like can easily just date around. It takes me a long time to like commit to someone and like invest in someone. So that's another reason I just haven't bothered with dating. But anyway, I was giving it a go. So we were talking a little bit, and then we planned to like meet up a few times, and every single time he would bail on me, like every time, like on the day especially. And this is something that was a red flag for me, especially because I'm so busy. So if I had one single lunchtime free in the week and I left it for him, and then he bailed on me on the day, I'd be like, that was the only time I had this whole week free, and I left it for you, and then you cancelled on me on the day. Like, I need a plan in advance. And at first he was like, no, I really appreciate that you're a busy person. I think that's really cool. Like, I like that you're busy. Things changed. But anyway, we will get there. As I record this, I'm like, he might be watching this. So if you're watching this, please just leave the conversation. And like, why did you leave this note in my car? You guys will find out why I'm like asking that, because boy, it gets juicy. Like this is not like a story time where they're like G'ing it up, and then it's like nothing happens. Honestly, like every friend that I've G'd it up to, when I get to the crux of the story time, they're like, it is fucking hot, spicy, a fat cup of tea. So anyway, back to the tea, sis. Yuck. I'm sorry, I only say that ironically or as a joke. Okay, cool, just got an email from uni. Amazing. Okay, so yeah, so he was bailing a lot. I was kind of like, red flag, red flag. So then the first day we met up, I almost had to bail. I am not someone who bails. Like, I commit. Like, I plan ahead in advance and I schedule things in, and I'm not a bailing person. And I'd already like been like, wow, to him for bailing 3 times in a row. So I was like, well, now I can't bail. But literally the night before we'd planned to meet the next day, I got a call from my agent. That sounds so extra. I got a call saying I had a shift on Home and Away. I've kind of talked a little bit before about how I am one of the waitresses in the diner on Home and Away. So I was like, I can't really say no, sorry. I'm meeting up with a guy who has bailed on me many times and potentially will bail on me tomorrow, but yeah, so I can't do it. So I said I could do it, and then I messaged him. I was like, and I was at training when this was happening, so I was like, I'm so sorry. And then he was like, you're the one bailing now. It was all like sarcastically at first. And then I was like, okay, actually no, let's still meet tomorrow, but we'll have to make it around my work. So my call starts early in the morning. You never know when it's going to end, but I'm assuming it's going to end late morning. So, or maybe it was midday and it was going to end early arvo. I don't really remember, but I was like, look, just stay on your phone and I'll tell you. It should be about 4 hours, but we sometimes go over or under. I'll just let you know as time goes on. So anyway, this is like in the city. So like city. While I was on set, when I got off and had the chance to check my phone, I was telling him like the go. And anyway, this is the first time we've met in person. So I ended up finishing work, and then at a really local cafe or like coffee spot nearby, we decided to meet. And I got there first and I was waiting. And as I was waiting, it hit me that I was like, holy shit, I literally don't know. I could be catfished. Like, I haven't met this person in person. Like, we're meeting in a public place. It was like completely safe, middle of the day. But I was like, this could literally be like a rando, like 50-year-old that has catfished me. Anyway, turns out it wasn't. Out of anyone who could have left a note on my car, could have been anybody. It was like a really genuinely like good looking, like surfy dude. He had blonde hair, blue eyes, was attractive and also super nice. So we ended up having like coffee and talking for like a few hours and we got along really well. And after that first like date, if you call it a date, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Maybe like this is gonna lead to something. Like we got along so well and he was so nice. We talked for ages and it was like really easy. And yeah, it was just really nice. And then we were like Snapchatting a bit after that again. And then over the course of the next few months, to the end of last year, we kind of just talked a little bit. As I said, not people who go on our phones too much. Well, I'm not, at least. So, and I'm someone, as I said, who wants to get to know someone in person. So we tried to meet up that many times, and I kid you not, he bailed every time. And it was so hard to like plan something, because I would be like, look, I'm free this day, this time, do you want to do something? And he'd be like, yeah, let's try do something. And I was like, okay, well, do you want to plan it? And he's like, yeah, we'll try it. And I was like, no, like, where are we going, what time, like, can we plan something? And he just never, and I know a lot of people are like this, but like, yeah, it just like, we couldn't plan something. Like so many times we would set a day and a time, and then either on the day he bailed on the day. So like one time we were meant to go to Cronulla for brunch. We were meeting at like 10:30 or 11, so half an hour just as I was leaving, I texted. I was like, hey, just about to leave, just making sure we're sweet, just because I didn't know if he was going to bail. And he literally replies to me like, oh, sorry, I'm busy now. And I was just like, wait, what? I was literally in the car about to leave. So like, were you going to tell me that? Or was I going to like drive half an hour and then be like, jokes, you're not coming? So anyway, I was like, what the hell? And after a few times of that, it got to a point where I was like, nah, I'm over this. Like, I'm over this. Like, I can't keep having my one free day taken, like just bailed on. And like, it was beyond a red flag at this point. And I was starting to get to the point where I was like, nah, just, I'm over this. The last time I think when I just like gave up was we were planning to like go to dinner, and we decided like on Saturday we're gonna go out for dinner. And then on Saturday I messaged him in the morning like, where are we going, what time, what's happening? That early in the morning I messaged like a few hours apart throughout the day, starting to be like, what's happening? I've literally like, I've kept this day free pretty much, and I don't have that many free days, so like this is like so unfair. But anyway, at 9 o'clock at night he messaged being like, sorry, forgot about this, I was at the beach all day. And I was just like, nah, I'm out, that's it, enough's enough. This is not what I want from a relationship. In my head I'm like, you're the only person I've given the time of day in the last like 4 years, and like this is like how you take that opportunity? Like, no, I'm out, this ain't it. No, if someone really wants to get to know you, and like, they will take any opportunity they get and will actually put in effort, especially like at first, like the initial like honeymoon phase. If this is the initial phase, then girl, no, I'm tapping out. So I just like gave up, just ignored him for like a long time, left him undelivered for like 2 months. And then I ended up just being annoyed at that like blue chat on Snapchat. So I opened it weeks later, and he said something like, guess I'm in the bin emoji. And I was like, I was worried he was gonna like go off at me, but no, he knew he was in the wrong. So I was like, yes you are. I forget really the series of events, what happens from there, but at the end of last year he said something like, hey, I'd really love to get the chance to talk to you again. Oh, I'm missing a key bit. I remember saying to him at one point after the in the bin thing, saying like, look, if you want the chance to try again, do what Jay did to Stella in this book. I have the book on my shelf, let me get it. Okay, so at the time I was reading this book called Sense and Sensibility. Random fictional book, random, I found it in an op shop, but I liked it. I was reading it at the time, and I remember I was like meeting Kiara for dinner on a rando day in like October last year. On the train, I sent him a Snapchat of this book because he had messaged me, and I said like, look, if you want to try again, I'll give you another millionth chance if you do what Jay did to Stella in this book. He obviously then googled a synopsis of the book, because then he started to like use the characters' names in like a sentence, but then proceeded to do not what Jay did to Stella in the book. So I wanted him to go out of his way to read this book, find out what to do it, and then I'd be like, okay, I'll give you another chance. I know, I realized that was really extra, but at the same time, like, basically what Jay did was the bit that I was expecting was, he sent flowers to Stella's work like every single day, trying to like get her to talk to him. He asked for my address. I gave him my address. Nothing happened. Eventually, yeah, like he asked to talk again, and he was kind of like, it was a little bit beefy, not really beefy, but he said something like, well, I'm not going to go out of my way to do something to someone who doesn't talk to me. And I, looking back, I'm like, bitch, no, you bailed on me that many times. But at the time I was like, okay, true, I'm expecting a little bit too much. I had high expectations. You know that meme where it's like, but did you come outside my house with a boombox? That's how I was going about it. That's my thoughts on it. But anyway, so at the end of last year, he said like, would love to try again if you gave me your number and we can properly talk. So I was like, why don't you just write your number on this instead of your Snapchat if you think it's not properly talking? I don't even know, whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'm someone who gives so many chances. So I gave another chance. And this is where it will get juicy. This is the bit. This is the bit. This is the time. So at the start of January, so like almost 2 months ago now, when I went to Byron with 2 of my friends, he sent me a text saying like, hey, this is, let's call him Car Note Guy. Hey, this is Car Note Guy. And like we just started talking, and because I was like on a holiday that week, I had time to be on my phone. So I was like, you know what, I'll give it a chance. So I was texting him back and just like getting to know him while we were in Byron. He was saying, I'd love to like try and meet up again when you get back. So we were trying to plan when we could meet up. This meetup would only be the second time we'd have met up because of, you know, he bailed on me every other time. So basically I was giving him like the billionth chance. And if you saw my weekly vlog from like January, that is the time that we met up. So we met up and got brunch together in Cronulla, and then we walked on the beach and talked for ages, and it was nice, it was fine. Yeah, and then after that we're trying to meet up again, and he knew that like I was super busy. Like this year I've gotten a lot on my plate. Like I started a new job, I have full-time uni, I'm full-time training, I am trying to create content for social media, and obviously he said in the past, you know, he appreciated that I was busy. We were trying to plan another time to meet, and it was hard because I'm so busy, but I would give him times that I could do in the week. Like I would set aside my only free morning and say, let's get brunch or brekkie on this day. And then guess what happened? He bailed. So after we'd met up that second time and we're trying to meet up again, I forget exactly what happened, but earlier in the week I said, look, the only free day I have is Sunday between training and when I coach. And I told him the hours it was free, and he was like, sweet, let's try do something. Back to the try do something. So I was like, okay, like, do you want to plan it? Do we want to have a place we're going to, a time we're going to, or are we just gonna try? But I wasn't pushy about it. Like, this is what I say in my head. Like, I'm really chill with anyone, with guys, with relationships. And I just wanted him to say like, look, let's do this place this time, I'll pick you up, we'll go here, and just like tell me a plan instead of say, yeah, let's just try do something, what do you want to do? Like, no, give me what you decide. But anyway, so I was like, I told him the exact times I was free. So I was like, yeah, so what time would you want to do? And he was like, yeah, nah, sometime there we can try, I'll see what I'm doing. And I'm like, what do you mean you'll see what you're doing? See now what you're doing. Anyway, like, are you gonna leave it free for me or are you not? Anyway, the night before on Saturday, I messaged saying like, hey, so we still, like, what's the plan for tomorrow? Like, are we gonna do something? Like, I'm free in these times. And he was like, yeah, like, let's try. Sunday morning, I was awake early because I have training. So I sent him a text saying like, okay, how about at this time we'll go to this place? And I sent him like a screenshot of a cafe. And then I kept checking it while I was at training because that was the only time I was free that week to like do something like for myself or with a friend. And I had a friend that wanted to do something, but I told them like, I'm meant to be meeting Car Note Guy. So like, I'll let you know what happens. At 11:30 or like 12, like in the middle of the day at the time, the only time I was free, he texted saying like, sorry, I'm not free anymore, like today. And I was just like, are you serious? I said like I was really nice, but in my head I was like, I bailed on my friend, this was my only free time this like fortnight, and I kept it free for you, and you bailed on me at like on the day, like not early in the morning but in the middle of the day. And I was just like, I literally cancelled on a friend for this. And he was like, frick, I'm so sorry, can you do later in this week, are you free any other days? And I was like, no, you know that I'm so busy. But then I was like, I'll give him one more chance. But at this point I was like over it. I was like, I don't want to keep wasting my days where I set them free and then he just bails on me. Like, I have no trust for you. But it gets worse. Like, if I thought this was untrustworthy, this is trustworthy compared to like the juicy bit. Anyway, I said, look, this week I start work at 5:30 most of the days, but on Thursday I start at 11, so I'm free in the morning. So do you want to go get brekkie this on Thursday? And he was like, yes, sweet, let's do that then. And that week I made an effort to like reply to his text and like send a text. And he knows that I don't go on my phone much. Like, I can't text all day. It was like an effort for me to send a voice message over Snap. Like, I can't reply to all the texts I have. I made an effort to message him at least once each day. Then on Wednesday night, I was like, hey, so are we still getting brekkie tomorrow? Like, what's happening? And he replied saying, are you going to actually talk to me then? And I was like, in my head, I'm like, what the hell? I was like, whoa. But I just replied saying, oh, what do you mean? And he said, well, currently we text or talk like once a day, thumbs down emoji. And earlier in the week, he said, like, why can't I talk to you on the phone? And I was like, oh, okay, well, you can talk to me on the phone, but like, I'm busy. So like, maybe you could call me while I'm driving to training or to work. These are the times I'll be in the car. Didn't call. So I was actually trying, and I was trying, like, as busy as I was every week, to find a free time that I would say, look, I can do this time. So I had tried, but he hadn't tried on his part. He'd bailed on me each time, or just like not given me the time of day, but then complained when I hadn't seen him enough or talked enough. And I'm like, but I've tried and you've bailed on me. But anyway, so he was like, will you actually talk to me? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, we currently talk like once a day. And I said, that's like the max I have. Like, you know, I'm busy. I can't go on my phone all day. I'm at work all day. I'm studying. I'm training. Like, I'm busy. That was like, I hadn't replied to my friends that day, but I made an effort to reply to you because I thought it was putting in effort. This is when stuff started to happen. So he sent like a long thing saying, like, oh, I'm gonna get emotionally invested and it's not gonna be enough seeing you once a week or talking once a day. And like, he started to use a lot of like emotional things. I'm not even gonna say because it's like really like I want to touch you, like I want to, like, anyway, emotional stuff. And I was just like, whoa, okay. And part of me was like, I felt so bad because I was like, maybe I can't give what is expected in a relationship, and then I just can't be in a relationship as busy as I am right now. But then another part of me was like, no, the right person would, you know, take the opportunity at any free time you have to spend with you, and they would respect that you're busy and what you do. And in the past, he said he thought it was cool that I was a busy person, but now it was like, no, I want you to spend more time for me. Part of me felt bad, but then I was also like, but like, you've bailed on me every time and then you're saying it's not enough. Like, I don't get it. Like, surely if it's not enough, you would have not been bailing on me every time. My camera's about to die. So that's basically where it kind of ended, like a few weeks ago, where, yeah, he basically said like, look, just think about it. I just think I need to spend more time with you. The next 2 days I was like tossing and turning. I was like, what can I take out of my life to give him more time? Like uni, training, social media, work. I want to do all those things, but if I need to get rid of something or like half something to fit him in, what could it be? But then I just thought, I don't want to, and why do I have to do that for him when he doesn't ever, like, he bails on me every time we try it. He doesn't put in the effort. And I'm not, yeah, I just thought, no, the right person will, like, if I can only see them once that week, they'll see me that one time and they'll be okay with that and understand that it's just a busy period in my life. I thought to myself, what does my gut say? Like, I'm not really good at listening to my gut, but I said to myself, you feel relieved at the thought of saying, nah, this isn't gonna work. So obviously I felt relieved at the thought of saying, nah, I can't do this. So I ended up messaging saying like, look, if seeing you once a week or once a fortnight and texting once a day is not enough, then I'm sorry, but that's all I can do. That's me at my absolute max. And if that's not enough, then maybe I just can't be in a relationship right now. I don't know much about relationships. I've been in one relationship, which was in high school, and yeah, I don't know what's expected, but if that's what's expected, then I can't do that right now. So I'm really sorry. Would have loved to see what happens, but at the same time I was like, I'm checked out, I'm over this. No, I feel like I deserve more than this. I thought that was my, like, I'm not good at confrontation. I didn't want to say, look, I'm over it, you've bailed on me that many times, I'm like just done. So I said like in a really nice way. I was hoping that was me letting him down easy and he was going to be like, yeah, no, it's fine, all good, like good luck in the future, whatever, like parting ways type of stuff. He replied saying, oh, look, I'll try again whenever you're free. I'm going to try and like see you then. And in my head I'm like, I doubt it. Like, you've said this before, and every time you bail or you get mad at me and say like, it's not enough. And I was kind of like, to be honest, I just don't think I have time for a relationship anyway. Kind of me being nice, letting him down nicely. So yeah, and then it was just like kind of me ending it type of thing. This happened over a few days because he would leave me on read for like 2 days and then respond, and he was leaving me on delivered for like 2 days. So over the few days that this all happened, he also sent me a text on Valentine's Day saying like, happy Valentine's Day, wish I could have spent it with you, something like that. Let me read the actual text. Hey Amy, firstly, happy Valentine's Day, would have loved to be able to spend it with you. Secondly, totally get you are crazy busy, probably a good thing if you just disconnect for a bit, right, and reset. Oh, okay, so this was in response to a text where I just said like I'm sorry I haven't replied. It was just like really dead at the end of that week and needed time to just think about it. Maybe we'll just keep in touch and see what we can do. Me kind of saying like, I'm out. He said, now I have accepted the reality of the situation. I am super chill about it. Whenever you are free and want to see me, let me know. And if you ever need to or want to talk to someone, I'm always here, XXX. This was like when it was ending. So yeah, that was the last time we messaged. I was like, I'm not gonna be responding. Like, I'm over that. Part of me thought like maybe I'll respond if I ever get like free time, and I'm like, let's give it another crack. But deep down I was like, I'm out. And then this is where the tea comes in. I'm so sorry that I've talked for so long and we're not even at the tea yet, but here we are. This is the tea. So my best friend happened to follow this woman on Instagram. She has like a lot of followers. She has more than double the amount of followers I have, so she must be a little bit of an influencer vibe going on. We won't name names, but my friend followed her because she was like kind of an influencer. This is my best friend, so she literally was looking at this woman's story, and it was a selfie of her and her boyfriend. Well, I don't know why I'm doing bunny ears. Her and her boyfriend, and the boyfriend was Carnote fucking guy. The boyfriend was literally this guy. So you might be thinking maybe he just like moved on really fast and in like a week had this new girlfriend. Let me just say, he's a lot older than me. He's like 6 years older than me. He's like late 20s. So we started talking last year. I'm 20 years old and when we start talking, he's 26 years old. So he's like, in my eyes, like a full grown up. Like, surely this is not how 26-year-olds act. But at the same time, I know that everyone matures differently. Like, I've met 30-year-olds who I've thought mentally were 15, and I've met 30-year-olds who are like, have 4 children and are like a grown up. Anyway, so my friend sees this story. You know how on Instagram you can like send someone's story to somebody else? She tries to send it to me but ends up accidentally sending it to the girl, like just replying to it saying like, holy shit, Imi, is that Carnote guy? Or is it like his identical twin? And then she realized she sent it to the girl herself, and then she messages me and I go on and see what's happening, and I'm like, holy shit, that is him. And then I'm also like, oh my gosh, like, oops, you fully messaged her. So I said, look, just say to her, like, she needs to know, like, be honest with her. If that was me, I would want to know. Like, if some younger girl was dating her boyfriend, like, I would want to know. If I had a boyfriend and a girl came to me and said, oh, your boyfriend's been talking to me or dating me, I would want to know so I could break up with them. So she replies saying something like, hey, I'm really sorry, but my friend's literally dated that guy, been talking to that guy and like gone on a few dates with that guy over the last year. Yeah, and then what did she respond? This is crazy. So I look through the story just to like confirm, because my best friend's like, I don't want to like name her, you guys would have seen her in so many vlogs, but she was like, does he have a dog? Like, and I looked and I was like, that's literally his dog in the story, because there was like other pictures of other than this selfie of them together. I tapped through the story and this is where it gets so juicy, and I'm just like, this is, it's so bad. I feel so bad for the woman. But the first picture of the story, of her Instagram story, like, holy fucking shit, it was like a picture of them away on a farm, and I forget exactly what she wrote, but it was like, I don't think she said bae, but something like my bae, or like surprise trip that my bae planned for our 5-year anniversary. What the actual fuck, like 5-year fucking anniversary. And oh my gosh, like my friends that I've talked to about this, we were just like, imagine being in your late 20s in a 5-year relationship. You would think you were going to get married soon or have children soon, or like you would think you were with the person you were going to spend the rest of your life with. 5 years. And I'm just like, why would you leave a note on my car last year saying like you want to get to know me and like trying to date me when you've been in a 5-year relationship? It was 4 years, I guess, at this time. But I was like so shook, and I was just like, well, this explains why he bailed on me like every fucking time we tried to meet up. And it explains a lot, but then it also doesn't explain a lot, like why you left this freaking note on my car. Anyway, so this girl messages me on Instagram just saying like, hey, I found out from your friend that my boyfriend looks like someone you dated recently. Carnote guy, as in he, I'm not saying his name, confirmed it was you. I'm not here for drama or to call you out, just want the details from your side, please. And at first I was like, to call me out. Like, I didn't, like, I'm the one that got catfished. Like, he's the one that tried to leave a note in my car. Like, but anyway, after that she was super nice, because I just responded saying like, no dramas at all, I'm honestly so sorry. Like, not that I've done something wrong, but for the situation that she's in, I'm so sorry. This is a shitty situation. I had no idea he was in a relationship, and to be honest, I haven't dated before, and I haven't really dated before, and this was the first person I've given a chance to see or talk to since my only boyfriend a few years ago when I was 17. So I'm kind of really shocked to find out this as well. Basically mid last year he left a note in my car saying he wants to see me, or wants to get to know me, and we've only met twice over the last year. Basically we planned to meet up many times, but he bailed each time, so I stopped messaging. End of last year he asked if we could try again, so I said okay. We met again in January. Then the other week he texted saying he wants more of me, and I just said I couldn't manage it with like uni, training and work and stuff, so I can't commit to what he wanted. Then he said he wanted to just keep trying with what I could do, but I was like, nah, I just don't have the energy for this for this shit. I just don't have the energy for a relationship or any more chances anyway. So we haven't messaged since. And then the other day we saw, well, my friend saw your story, so that's basically what I said. And she was like, thank you for your message. So nothing physically happened between you, ? We've been together for 5 years, so it's a shock to the system. She also was so nice. She said, I'm sorry, this was your first experience with dating properly. It's not like this at all, I promise. So like, she's being so lovely when I'm assuming her world is falling apart at this time. So I was like, no, nothing happened, like physically. Like, this is my first time dating. I'm not someone who like does things like sleeps around easily or does like, you know, physical stuff. Like, if you're someone who does like wants to sleep around, then that's so fine. I respect that. But for me, I'm just like, I don't want to do stuff with someone I'm not like in love with or invested in. So, you know, like that wasn't ever gonna happen, because I think the universe just knew. It was giving me this like feeling, because like the second time we met I just didn't have that attraction. Like, I wanted to be attracted to him because he was so nice. He's obviously not nice. He was like fucking cheating on his girlfriend of 5 years. He seemed to be a really good guy. We got along well, and he was so attractive, so I really wanted to feel that like attraction, but it just wasn't happening. And I think the universe just had my back. So so yeah, nothing physical happened, and I was like, yeah, no, nothing physical happened at all, but don't be sorry. Like, she was being so lovely. I don't think we talked at all since then. Let me just check. It was also really weird because like when it was happening, she would like leave my message, she wouldn't respond to my message or like open it for like a day, and I was like, aren't you like freaking out right now? Like, why are you being so chill about this? That was literally the last message we had, and like it was over, like, yeah, it was just so random, so random. So this was literally last week. And yeah, so basically the guy that left a note in my car, the one single guy that I've given the chance to and like tried to date and talk to, the one guy that I've ever given a chance to in the last like 4 years, was in a 5-year relationship. This is my actual love life. This is it. This is it. That is the tea. So yeah, that's basically it. I don't know why, like, just my luck. The one time I was like, you know what, I'll give it a chance. The one time it was someone who was in a relationship of 5 years. And like, why? How am I meant to trust someone now? Like, if they're messaging me like, oh, but just checking. Are you in a 5-year relationship? Because this happened to me last time I tried to talk to someone, you know, like they were actually in a relationship, and their girlfriend found, like, oh my gosh, imagine if my friend didn't follow this girl, because it was so random. Like, you know how on your Instagram it says mutuals, like who else follows her? There were 2 people I knew that followed her, and one of them just happened to be my best friend, who happened to click on her story on that day and happened to know what he looked like from screenshots I'd shown her. And I'm beyond shooketh. Like, how bad. I don't want to be like a drama or like tea gossip that's like offensive, and I'm getting a story time out of me being, is it catfish? Was I catfished by this guy? But yeah, I may as well share my story time, especially because I know some of you guys, I get messages about like what happened to the guy who left a note on your car. Guys, this is what happened. This is the tea that happened. So anyway, that's basically my love life. I hope this was a hydrating cup of tea. And yeah, that's the story. So I love that for me. Obviously, like, it's a shitty situation. I feel really bad for the woman that was in that position. Some of my friends have been like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm completely fine. I was honestly checked out. And for me, it honestly just confirms that I should feel relieved, or like that I made the right decision by tapping out, by saying no. But anyway, that's the love story. I thought maybe 2021 might be the year for me, but maybe it will be. It's still early days. But this is the start we had, a cracker of a start to the love life in 2021. Maybe, you know, a scout for the Bachelorette might pick me up. I wouldn't go on the Bachelor because I'm not going to fight over a guy. But if you want me to be the next Bachelorette, I don't mind them fighting over me. Honestly, that was a joke. But honestly, I'm just still baffled. I'm shooketh. I'm shocked. I'm baffled by this situation. Like, I was baffled when I saw that. I was like, what? You have a girlfriend, you're in a 5-year relationship, why did you need to try to date me? Like, it wasn't happening. It wasn't working, so why were you trying for so long? What? Like, I'm so confused. I'm baffled. I am baffled. And the girl, like, as well, I should just add, when I stalked her, we had a lot of similar features. But why would he leave a note on my car saying, like, I'd like to talk to you, tall, beautiful brunette, when he was dating a tall, beautiful brunette already? Like, he didn't know me at all. I could have been a psychopath for all he knew. All he saw was how I looked, and he already was with someone. So anyway, I need to stop ranting because this was a long story time. I hope it was spicy enough, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, give it a like. Actually, if you think Car Note Guy is a dickhead, give it a like. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!